Hey guys, so I just want to take this time to talk about boot camps, specifically tech boot camps. I know they were kind of like a big thing a couple years ago, and I was in one of the cohorts. So this is called Springboards Data Analytics Boot Camp, and I'm kind of just going to generalize this across other boot camps in a way because I know the main point is people think of boot camps as a replacement of a degree, college degree, master's degree of some sort, and it kind of gives you more of a fast track approach to landing your career. So I'm gonna give you my pros and cons for the Springboard Bootcamp, and I'm just gonna apply this again to other boot camps as well. So hopefully you get some real value out of it, and if it's worth pursuing. But I do want to talk about one, pricing, two, the pros, three, the cons, and then third, if it's still worth pursuing in 2025. So to start it off with pricing, I took this a couple years ago, and the pricing is a lot different. Back then, I think it was around 3K. I believe boot camps now range from 2K to 5K to even 10K or maybe even higher. So I think depending on the price and justification, it really depends on the cohort and reviews, and also what type of skills and tech and their tech stack that's going to be involved. But for pricing on my side, I feel like it was worth the value at the time for $3,000 USD, and the program included you want to make sure that you have a good cohort, you have a good mentor, and third is the post completion of the program, meaning are you guys involved in some sort of networking group program with other companies where you're able to kind of utilize that network and land a job a little quicker. That's very important. But let's just talk of the pros. So pros about boot camps, in my honest opinion, was it helps if you're coming from a place where you're lost. That's kind of my biggest advice. If you already have some guidance and you already know what to do and you're pretty solid, I wouldn't suggest boot camps. So for me, it helped me kind of pave the way and an idea, a path for me to kind of pursue my next step in my life, in my career. And that was the point of the boot camp. So with that, I would say that was a big benefit and big impact to my life, was just having the opportunity to kind of understand what's out there, what my next step is, and to just give me a goal to kind of put myself into. And yeah, that helped a lot. So that was a big pro. It helped me navigate my way into my career. The second pro I would say for boot camps is it is very fast and condensed. So I think it kind of removes the fluff back to if you're lost, because when you're lost, there's so many different things for you to learn. There's so many different new, like new concepts, and then like the new shiny objects for you to kind of go into, and when you're new, you don't even know if it's leading you to the right direction. So with boot camps, it's pretty much like a tailored package of what you need to do for this type of career, and it helps. So it saved a lot of time in that sense, and it was very practical. So that's another big pro. A third pro I would say with boot camps is the mentor experience. So I hope if you do enroll in a boot camp, make sure that there's a mentor involved, because that's one of the biggest kind of key points, is you're learning from somebody in the industry that's going to help you pave the way into what to do, what not to do, and best practices. And yeah, so one of my mentors worked at Microsoft at the time. Very great. Learned a lot about just what to expect in the workforce, what type of questions to expect. That was really helpful. And then my last pro I would say with these type of boot camps, it's always going to be like a job ready type of thing. So normally it helps you prepare with interviews, it helps you prepare with your resumes, and also those real life projects that everyone keeps talking about too. So they have a lot of those, but to be honest, the projects you pick, they could care less. So that's in my opinion. So when it comes to the projects, you better pick the project that you feel like you're gonna learn a lot from. If not, you're just gonna not do yourself any good. So that's one thing. I know there's so many people saying hands-on project. That's just kind of like a marketing term, just to kind of let you opt in. And in all honesty, just like in any program, the project you pick determines the outcome you'll get from whatever you just did, and that's what matters. Yeah, that's pros. Cons, I would say the money. So that's kind of, I talked about pros and cons, and it could be a pro as well, but there's so much stuff online that you can kind of learn yourself, and so many free resources out there now on YouTube, ChatGPT, where I feel like boot camps got a little saturated. I don't see the value as much anymore, especially now. Maybe back then it was a little different, but I think that's one of the biggest pros or cons with boot camps at the moment. It's kind of regurgitated material from other programs to other programs, and I've been in the education space for a while now, and yeah, I'm pretty much seeing just a recycled content. So I think my big point with a con is, if you opt into a boot camp, you better make sure that the content is refreshed, is revamped, and it's up to date. Because if not, it's gonna be old stuff, old news. And I know as a newbie and someone new in the industry, you have no idea. But before you opt into a program, just make sure you do your due diligence and do your research of what's the latest tools you need. Do a lot of review of the boot camp and stuff like that. So that's my only con. It's just the outdated programs and material, if any. But yeah, that's kind of my summary. To kind of summarize it again, however you want to look at it, for me again, it's helpful for someone that's lost, just like which I was. If you already have guidance and you know what to do, save your money, in my opinion, and find some stuff online, do your own projects, right, and put that on your resume. That's about it, because that money can be well spent on other courses and materials, something cheaper, even like professional certificates, where it's a lot cheaper. That helps. The only part about spending additional money, and I apply this to like master's school or boot camps, is just the networking part. That's something you can't get, that I think boot camps have, is that network effect, and I'm all in on networks. That kind of helps you so much in your career, and that's something you can't get without a boot camp sometimes. So yeah, that's my review just about boot camps. Hopefully you got something out of it, and yeah, pros and cons, both sides. In my opinion, for 2025, I'll put it on the no for now. But yeah, that's it.